Different episode tonight. I don't have my podcast co-host. He's playing radio DJ tonight on 101.5. So I'm gonna fly solo tonight. And I actually want to fly solo with this one tonight. This is episode what 127 of Who's Your Band. My name is Sean Morton. Everybody knows this. I'm the funny one on the podcast. I'm the one who has all the information proper. And I wanted to bring this guy on for a long time. And the reason why is he is from my past life of being a wannabe rock star. And now I'm no longer a wannabe rock star. I'm a wannabe professional stand-up comedian.
And you are.
One of the I'm gonna say this right now. One of my favorite vocalists, and it's not because he's a buddy of mine. Like this dude's voice is stupid good, and I kind of hate him a little bit because of how good his fucking voice is. I'm not gonna lie. Playing in the same scene for a very long time. My buddy, Mr. John Kosco from Revel and Dusk. What's going on, buddy?
How are you, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And you're this is your guitar player here?
Yeah, Mr. Vince Cia.
Vince, how do you put up with the Napoleon sitting next to you?
You know what? You get used to it.
What? I don't even know what that means.
He takes it as well as he gives it. So
no, that's cool. Yeah, me and John go back a very, very long time. We haven't really talked in a very long time either, but so I'll give you a little background. The North Jersey scene in the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm going to put up with any area, right? I think it was a solid scene back in the time. There was a ton of bands that came out of it. We've interviewed a bunch of the bands on here. It's one of my favorite musical eras too, you know? We've had from 40 Below Summer and El Nino and Volbeat and everybody on this show. So first band that I saw you with was Child.
Yes, sir.
Now, was that your first band?
It was.
Okay. Now, for people who we have a lot of listeners who are all over the map. So when I say the North Jersey scene, it's if you looked in a magazine called The Aquarian, which is still out there now, you know, it's still out there, but the show listings were always a big thing for me to see who was playing and stuff like that. If you ever went to the Birch Hill, Child pretty much played there 5 times a fucking week, opening for everybody under the sun.
That's for sure.
It was a great era.
It was the best era. You know, Stan Levinstone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was on speed dial on my Motorola flip phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
I remember actually having to like email, you know, all these people from like XSDB, all these weird names you probably forgot about for 25 years ago, just begging to get on shows and shit.
Yeah.
It was a tough period. It was a tough period.
A very tough period. In fact, what made it tough was we would drive down 3 weeks, you know, every weekend and try to hustle tickets and go get into the shows and hustle tickets at the Birch Hill and drive back or just stay down there.
Yeah.
What's that? Some chick's house or whatever, you know, or I think we slept overnight in the Birch Hill one time, to be honest with you.
We did that one time when we went to see Life of Agony 3 times in 3 days. But yeah, I remember those days, dude. I remember one time we had a show at Lemoore in Brooklyn. It was right before it closed, and I think we were like, I don't know, 6 tickets short of selling your, you know, 50 pay to play bullshit tickets. Yeah. And I was like, I think at the time I had a job, I was making like 80 grand a year, and I was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not going to sell any more tickets. I shelled out the $120 myself. just to freaking get rid of the tickets and shit. But it was a different era, man. I gotta tell you, I loved it too. You know, some of my favorite memories are just playing up and down Van Houten Avenue in Clifton. You know, you can go any bar any night of the week and you would have an amazing show, unless you went to Connections in Clifton. And you were drunk before your set started, and you have asshole friends who like to go to that bar. Do you remember the gigantic jar of cherries that were being soaked in Everclear for about, I don't know, 9 or 10 years? Do you remember that? They were $1 a piece, right?
Man, yeah.
a fucking dollar a piece, and you can go in there stone cold sober, Vince, stone cold sober, have 2 cherries.
Oh yeah.
I'll wake up for 2 days. That's how fucking strong these things.
Yeah, I never had the cherries. Just because listen, at the end of the day, that bar was disgusting, but it was the best.
It's gross.
It was the best thing in the world.
Oh, I love that bar. My famous moment from that was when you remember at the top of the stage they had that big thing that was hanging over. Everybody put their band stickers all over it, right? And I remember watching a VH1 Behind the Music. It was about Stephen Pearcy from Rat. Yeah. And they did a video of him at Connections, and my band sticker made it onto VH1. That's like the biggest fucking moment my dumb band ever had. But yeah, those are great times, man. And I feel bad for a lot of local bands that are out now because they don't realize how fucking great it was. And now we're dating ourselves now. We're actually showing our age at this point. But it was a great era because there was a lot of camaraderie with these bands. I mean, if you were playing, we would go out to see you. We were playing, other bands would go out to see us. I don't think you see
each other's shirts.
Sure.
Wore each other. We made sure we booked with each other, wore each other's shirts. It was very honest competition, friendly competition for sure.
Oh yeah.
We loved each other very much. In fact, and I got to just take a quick moment here to pay homage to one of my very close friends who passed, Mr. Bob Bueno Bubble, from the band The Dirty Stayouts, who was beyond his time, number one. Number two, he was an influence, and I wish he made more music and more music. And I just loved him. We all loved him so much. At his funeral, you know, it was said that he was a Renaissance man, and that is the truth. And I love you, Bob, and we all love you. And I just wanted to make that very clear that we appreciate those who have passed. You know, JB from Ogre, Ricky Rocket, Revel, all those guys we all made each other. And it's very important to acknowledge where you come from. And I love you, Bob. And so this one's for you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Everybody has a Ricky Rocket story.
Oh,
what's your favorite Rocket story?
I got one for you. Ready?
Yeah.
Played a show across the street. We used to rehearse at Streets, of course. And we loaded everything back in the street in the studio. Rocket helped, of course, you know. And I was laying flat on the floor in the rehearsal studio, and Rocket did a fucking Jimmy Superfly Snuka on my rib and broke my rib. Motherfucker.
He was a character. He was, I mean, my story is my bass player Rob was good friends with him. And I had just bought a house in Bayonne. I was moving some stuff out, and I asked for some help, and he brought Rocket down. We're moving some boxes, and he goes, "You want to move the couch?" I go, no, I got movers coming. We don't need to move the couch. No, here's what you do. Open the window. You and Rob push it, and I'll be underneath, and I'll catch the fucking thing. We're good. We're good. Yeah, that was him. And I loved Rock. I mean, everybody in the world loved him, but everybody also hated him at the same time because it was like a mixed personality thing. You know, my favorite story from Connections was we had a friend, the Reverend, who was from Archdemon Choir. Kevin was a great dude. And I don't know what happened. There was one night somebody must have pissed in his Cheerios. I think we were supposed to go on after them, and he wanted to get on really quick. And so he decided to go into my bag, and he took out about 15 stickers. He put them on the floor right in front of the stage, went out the side door, brings his Harley in, and revved his Harley on the stickers. So he smoked out the entire room so we could not play.
Where the fuck are you going to get another story like that?
Right?
That's what I'm saying. You know, you're not going to get a story. That's probably the greatest thing that's ever happened to you, right?
Let's not go fucking nuts, John. I thought the greatest thing ever happened. No, we had some fun shows with you guys too. What was the thing we used to do? What was it called? The porno circus?
Close. Satanic porn night.
Satanic porn night. Yes, there would be like 70s porn playing on the screens in the background.
Strippers on stage with the
Strippers on stage. Yes, I remember that very well. I also remember a very drunk John Kosco trying to steal the microphone away from me when we were doing She Rides by Danzig because you were saying, I can fucking sing it better. So I gave you the microphone, and I did.
I think somewhere up in this area, I kind of remember that a little bit.
It's fun times, man. We were in our 20s. It was a lot of fun. From that, though, you kind of took off. Tell me how that happened.
So take off is a weird word because it's like
there's a whole lineage. I mean, there's a whole line of events that happened. Obviously, I'm obviously skipping over like 3 fucking years of everything.
In a nutshell, the band Child had almost broken up, and then I said, screw it. I had went to a show at Jones Beach Theater to go see the Deftones, and Godsmack was headlining, and Puddle of Mud was playing, and we ended up backstage, and I wound up talking to Sully from Godsmack, and we were talking about motorcycles. We were talking about the music scene in the area, blah blah blah. And for about 30 minutes goes by, we're smoking cigarettes together on the back. We just started really hit it off, and I did never mention my band once. And he goes, "Are you in a band?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, why didn't you tell me you were in a band?" I'm like, we're just bullshit, And I think he respected that in a sense, and said, "Well, I'm starting my own label, blah blah blah. I'd love to hear what you're doing." I'm like, "Oh, cool." Ran out to my truck in the parking lot. As I came back, he's got 2 chicks under his arm, walking on the bus. I said, there goes that. Made my way on the bus, blah blah blah. Quick chat. Gave him a CD and remember CDs, and he called me from tour about 3 weeks later. Came up and said, I love the way you sing. I love your voice a lot. Come up here and let's work on some music. And he introduced me to Lee, of course, Lee Richards. I got Joey Wilkinson, Bobby Jenkins, and Jimmy Preziosa from Ogre. And it was something about these particular guys that I loved and I connected to, and we made it happen.
It's a great record, man. Great record. I never forget. Joey loved to smoke too, which is why they has the great name of Joey Smoke, And I remember going to I think it was like a record release or something like that for you guys at Dingo's. It was one of those things that are playing a record, like a quick party or something like that. And I think Wishbone had been out for a while, and it was one of those songs that, like, when you know somebody is in a band, then they have a song and it breaks out. Of course, you're excited, or whatever. But it was a great goddamn song.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I love it too. I love it too so much.
Such a great fucking song, and I learned the words to it real quick. And I remember Joe turning around, going, "How do you know the words to this? It's not even out yet." I go, "Joe, there's this thing called the internet, and you can listen to a song first." We played it for about a week before it was sort of thing, but there was another thing I wanted to mention too. That was on the Transformers soundtrack, correct?
Was, yeah.
That's fucking weird. Matt, try writing one now for a Transformers soundtrack. What do you think?
Say again?
Try putting another song out for a Transformers soundtrack. These fucking franchise won't go away. It's 25 years later.
Yeah, I know. It is crazy.
So the topic of our show is called Who's Your Band? And we're going to jump around a little bit. We're going to go back into, going on tour and stuff like that. But I think me and you have one thing in common. If you had to pick your band, any band that is Desert Island, you got to take all your music from, who is your band Black Sabbath?
I mean, yeah, it's Black Sabbath. I mean, I grew up on Mountain.
Okay. I think I have said this about 13 times on the show, and I'm glad you mentioned it because you're the only fucking person who's ever mentioned this. I go on record and say Mississippi Queen is probably the greatest rock and roll song that's ever been written.
Yeah. So I met Leslie a bunch of times. We've had dinner, and he became friends with my father, which was wild because my father plays and sings in a band, and my father's 80 and he plays left-handed bass EB3, and he became very good friends with Leslie, which is crazy to him. God rest Leslie's soul. But Leslie West to me was my core. But Desert Island Band, I have to say, fucking AC Queens of the Stone Age, ACDC Queens of the Stone Age.
I knew you were gonna say ACDC too.
Just because it's just it's just
I never thought that.
Yeah,
I never thought that. I actually, my dog's name is Sabbath, which I named after Black Sabbath. We're actually going to have two dogs. It was going to be Sabbath and Caius.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. You and I have. Do you drink?
Yeah.
You're in big trouble.
Okay.
Dog named Sabbath.
Okay.
And my dog Caius just passed 2 years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
Caius. His name was Caius.
Fucking great. That's fucking great. We had the whole, I wanted to get two.
That's
and
great.
I went to get two, right? I had the names all picked out. First, it was like, you got to do Sid and Nancy. No, that's stupid. Axel and Slash.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
It's kind of boring. Axel and Slash, I got to have two boys. I was trying to get a girl and a boy. And I went to get the one at another rescue, and the girl was like a fucking lunatic, and the boy was chill, and they wouldn't separate them. I go get this one, and the boy fell through. I was like, well, I guess the next dog's going to be Caius, but Sabbath Moon is my greatest thing I've ever done in my life.
Crazy. I'm like blown away by this. It's very strange. I mean, I've never heard of a dog named Caius before.
Yeah. It's see, I'll show you a picture of her chilling on my deck with her Motorhead vest on.
Oh, nice.
I think I just like that because I just went on your Facebook profile.
Oh, nice. Yeah, she's fucking dogs are the greatest thing in the world, man. The absolute greatest thing in the world. She's chill as fuck. I cannot leave the house.
Dropped his dog off to go get trained.
But I have a 12-year-old chocolate lab. His name's Hendrix Marshall.
Hendrix Marshall.
Yep.
That's a cool fucking name too.
Yeah.
I didn't know what Caius's middle name was going to be. We didn't get that far, but we knew it was going to be Sabbath Moon. That's all we knew.
Sabbath Moon is amazing. That's amazing.
Cool for she's a cool dog too. Like I can't leave the house without leaving the Today's Country station on, because she gets fucking ornery unless there's music playing in the background when we're gone.
Ornery like an alligator.
Yeah, she really is. But she's very chill, very, very chill. I would never have thought AC/DC ever.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bon Scott, Angus's solos were blues, were blues, were R&B vocals. You understand?
Sure.
When Angus Young plays a solo, it's like an R&B singer. Which I grew up on R&B stuff, so
it's his vibrato, right? Like
it's the vibrato and it's the articulation of like when he's like and that's like a singer.
He's scatting with his.
He scats with his guitar solos,
See, Vince, he's showing off that ridiculous vibrato that he has in his voice. That I would murder my mother to be able to have that vibrato in my voice, but I don't. Vince, how long are you playing guitar for?
Oh, geez. I remember picking up the guitar when I was like 16 years old, but it started way before that. The whole kid rock star thing where you have a tennis racket and you're pretending to to play guitar in front of like 250,000 people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I still have my first guitar downstairs. It's like yellow and white Gibson Epiphone. The pickups are completely rusted out. It's got fucking Scooby-Doo stickers on it because that was 30 years ago.
Yeah, you
post a picture of that.
I'll have one. Yeah, on my guitar, I have I got two Washburn Dimes downstairs. I got that. I got a bass because I thought I could play bass for a few minutes, and then that never happened either. And then that and my new ESP, which I'm trying to get rid of because I don't fucking play anymore. So maybe you'll get a new guitar out of this whole deal.
You get the dime slime?
Not the Dime Slime. I got an Alien and I got a Camouflage one.
Oh,
Shit.
nice.
But the problem is, I'm a tall man and I'm not a small man, and those guitars always ride up here, so it looks like I'm playing a fucking ukulele like this. Even with a long strap, it's very strange. But so we're gonna get back to Dropbox. Great live fucking band too. Like resonated from the album to the live show. I had the this is actually a funny story too. Which I never told you. So it was you guys, it was El Nino and Godsmack at I think it was just the House of Blues at the Showboat in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Now, like you have a great relationship with your dad. My mom got me into music. Like that was like my first concert was Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, and the Stray Cats. That was my first show ever.
Brother.
I'm going to see Willie in like 5 or 6 weeks now too. So yeah, she got me into music. She loves certain bands, right? Like out of the blue, she'll say to me, hey, can you move my car? And I'll move her car and the fucking Volbeat CDs in the car. And I'm like, what are you doing with this? Like you're 74. What the fuck are you doing with it?
That's awesome.
Yeah, so like I would always take her to like really cool concerts. Like we went to see, she wanted to see Kid Rock, she wanted to see Volbeat and Ghost, and I'm taking her to see Springsteen and yada yada. So
Yeah.
King loved Godsmack, right? Just absolutely worshipped. She worshipped the song Voodoo, and she still does. She loves the song, right? So we go down there, and she doesn't realize that it's a standing room only show, and she goes, I'm not fucking standing for 3 hours. You better do something about this. And couldn't find you because I knew you at the time. And I was like, all right, whatever. I found one of the guys from El Nino that I knew. And I said, yeah, I need a favor. And he's like, yo, whatever you need, whatever you need. And I go, I need a chair. He goes, for what? I go, my mom's here and she needs to sit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he goes, all right. And he got one of his road crew and they found me a chair. So now you're going to see 1,200 people completely losing their shit to Dropbox and El Nino and fucking Godsmack all in a fucking pit with my mom sitting in a chair just like this watching the show. She loved it too, though.
It's awesome.
Yeah, man. So that was the first tour that you guys did?
That was the first tour we did. Yeah, because we left Bobby J's house on the tour bus and went to Ohio.
Okay.
And met the El Nino guys up there, and we started the tour up there, and we made our way back down. Yeah, that was the first. We're talking. Joey and I and Jimmy and Bobby and Lee. We've never been out of Jersey.
Sure.
I mean, we did like Connecticut, PA,
Hey, the tri-state,
Staten Island, Connecticut, blah blah blah. Everywhere, but we went to Hawaii to go do the acoustic record with Godsmack, and then we came back home. We went on the Metallica tour with Godsmack to do promo, and then we came back and recorded a record, and then went everywhere. And so we know nothing about major touring, so it was crazy.
it was always cool to see. I knew I was never going to do music full time. It was just never in the cards. I knew that very early on. But when you saw your friends and people that you knew breaking out, it was always like a bittersweet thing. It was always like a bittersweet thing because like you used to seeing these guys in these local places and having a great time, and you have a beer and whatever. And then it's like, wow, this fucking guy is playing in Arkansas tonight.
Yeah,
in front of 25,000 people. It's great though. I always was, and even in comedy too. It's kind of like it's the same thing. It really is the same thing. Only it's bands are a lot more supportive than comedians are. Where they're a bunch of real fucking divas. But there's core people who will always bring their friends out. Like we interviewed one of the guys from the show Bupkis on Peacock, which is Pete Davidson's show, and we all started comedy together, and he's bringing 10 15 people onto shows with him, to try and support. And that's kind of what comics do. If we break out and get a TV show, it's going to be like, you bring in all your friends and things like that. I'm the exception. I will fucking forget everybody that I know. I'm starting over new. My best friends will never hear from me again. I'll be hanging out with Brad Pitt and fucking Drake. I don't give a shit. I don't want to know anybody anymore. But Vince, I want to get back to you. Where were you born and raised? Around here?
No, I was born and raised in the Philippines, and I didn't move here until I was, 23.
Oh wow.
Like,
Okay.
like 25 years ago, really. So,
Wow.
born and
Now,
raised
how'd you guys link up?
Uh, he gave me my first tattoo.
Why are we jumping ahead? Jumping ahead again.
Yeah, so I just moved here.
Yep.
It's been a couple of years. I've always been looking for people to jam with, right? And then it just so happens that I went to John's tattoo shop, and he was giving me a tattoo, and we were just talking about music, and he was like, yeah, I'm looking for someone who can sing harmonies and play guitar. I'm like, yeah, that's me. Let's jam.
Yeah.
And then we did, and that was it. That was, gosh, like 16 years ago now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, that was something I never knew about you. I didn't realize you were an artist.
Yeah, I was tattooing when I came off tour. I started tattooing about 06, and I never stopped.
But were you always an artist growing up, though?
I mean, I did like band T-shirt designs and like album covers for like local bands and stuff like that. I don't even remember these bands, but that was about it. But I kind of like fell into tattooing, and
Yeah, because I remember when social media was just starting and stuff like that, and I saw this popping up, and I was like, I never would have thought that.
yeah, no, I never stopped. Once COVID hit, that's the only time I really ever stopped, unless I went on tour.
What's your favorite style of tattooing?
I would say like neo-traditional black work.
Okay. Do you still have that ridiculous Challenger?
My we just talked about that.
We were just talking about this today.
My 1967 Dodge Charger
Sorry.
was sold.
Oh, that's hard, dude.
But I'm looking for another Mopar.
You don't want a nice 2015 RAV4 lesbian soccer mom car? I'll sell you one really cheap.
Does it come with a lesbian?
Well, you're looking at it. If I shave the goatee, I'm otherwise a lesbian right now. Got that from my mama too. Anyway,
DM me.
Slip into my DM.
Slip into it.
So the album does great. Obviously, it's only one record, and which I hated, because a lot of these great bands that again, like I said, you're friendly with, or you play with, put out these amazing first records, and I always felt like it was kind of a one and done deal for like 95% of these great bands.
Yeah.
Like even like we used to play with the Step Kings all the time, and I thought that was going to be a band that was going to take over the world. I know. I really thought they were going to take over the world, and the first record was killer, and the second one was just like the no label support, and that was kind of like when I guess the internet was really starting to. Wow, we are so fucking old. We're saying when the internet started.
I know, dude. I know. It's so wild, right?
It's fucking stupid. Like if you think back, like I'm 46. I'm gonna be 47 next month. So like we lived in this amazing time where you didn't have to worry about anybody finding you if you didn't want them to find you.
So funny.
So true.
It's so true. So I'll be 50.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right.
I thought you were younger than me, actually.
Well, I look younger than you.
You really don't, but continue.
But yeah, we lived in the best time. Our Facebook was being face to face.
Right. I've been doing a new bit about how if you want to block somebody now, you have to block them on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
I
Uh,
know.
you have to block their phone number, their email, all this stuff. And then when we were growing up, if you wanted to block somebody, you took the phone off the hook
Yep.
Yeah.
the whole night. And there's, look
Oh,
look at the music, dude. Look at music. Like if you're out at a bar, right? You're out at a bar and you hear a fucking really killer song, right? You just take your phone and you fucking hit an app, right? You hit a fucking app and then you have the song instantly. And now, like back when we were fucking growing up, if you heard a song on the radio, you're like, wow, this thing is goddamn awesome. Let me put my tape in and hit the friggin' record and hold your finger on pause for like 4.5 hours until the fucking song came back on, and then you got the goddamn thing.
Fucking weird,
and
right?
Hope the DJ doesn't say anything while it's
Right.
Right.
You know how many goddamn Casey Kasem long distance dedications I have on fucking cassette tape all over the place?
Yep.
But we do have we have the benefit of being this age, and I always say that we are the last great generation by far.
By far.
Yeah.
The last great generation, because we do have that, but we also know that like we can get our phones at 2 o'clock in the morning when we're stoned and fucking drunk off our asses and have somebody from the Philippines, okay, in your car delivering DoorDash to you and going to Wawa so you don't have to drive 2.5 fucking minutes. I've done that. I've actually ordered a bagel from 4 blocks away because I didn't want to leave my fucking house. So that's why we are this entitled fucking generation. But like the ones below us don't have any idea how good they have it. They really don't.
Fucking goddamn so true. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to. People always say, what would you do? Like, would you go back in time? I think the only way I would go back in time is I would go back to 1987. I'd be 21 years old. I'd be playing rhythm guitar for Guns N' Roses, and I'd be dead by 88. I want to have one great fucking year. That's what I would do to go back in time. I wouldn't like kill baby Hitler or anything like that.
We tried to emulate all these bands, remember, and we in my eyes, I think that we lived that. I mean, we were suburbia, warriors, but we were out all night. We drove our car, we filled up the tank, we had paper flyers, we drove when we weren't supposed to drive. And we went from bar to bar, club to club, and shook hands, smoked cigarettes. We had, if you didn't have a carton of cigarettes in your glove compartment, that was our fuel.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. You hit the nail on the head with that. You do so many stupid fucking things when you're growing up. Like, you're married, you have 2 great kids, you have a house, you have a career. Can you imagine ever thinking, hey, I'm gonna drink 7 fucking Blacktooth grins and I'm gonna get behind the wheel of my car?
It's terrible.
I can't even imagine, dude. I remember a time in Hoboken, because even though you're rock guys, you still wanted to go to Hoboken to get pussy because that's what you had to do back in '97. You know what I mean? And one of those nights where like, your girlfriend breaks up with him and like my girlfriend breaks up with me. Oh my God, let's go out and get fucked up. I went drinking at Bahama Mamas. Remember that place? A fucking nightmare of a place, Vince. It was a fucking nightmare. They had these fishbowl drinks that were like $7. One drink gave you diabetes. Like that's how much sugar was.
Well, they had the dog bowl at the rec room.
The rec room. Well, we'll talk about the rec room too. That was I think my favorite place we ever played in the world. The greatest fucking place in the world, where I fell off the stage not once but twice. But yeah, they'd have these fucking horrible drinks.
That's how you know it was a good time.
Yeah, it was real. So like my friend Mark has this pickup truck, and it's like a red Mazda, and it's one of those old ones where like the bench seat doesn't move, it's fixed, so there's no back seat. And he goes, all right, who's less fucked up? I go, I'm definitely less fucked up. I'll drive. So I'm only going from Hoboken to Bayonne. Back then I was about 450 pounds, and I try to get behind the wheel and I'm like, fuck, I don't fit. So I can't get behind the fucking wheel. So Mark goes and says, well, I'm going to have to do this, but I don't know. He's passing out. I go, here's what you do. Okay. You work the feet and I'll work the wheel.
Tag team.
We tag teamed it. It usually takes about 11 minutes to get from Hoboken.
It's
to
fucking awful to talk about. What?
It's horrible to think about it. Yeah, absolutely. But it took us 47 minutes to get from Bayonne from Hoboken to Bayonne. But these are the stupid things that we did, it's fucking dumbass things. But the rec room, that was, in my opinion, the best place in North Jersey to play.
Yeah.
It was just a huge ass stage, a gigantic room. They would have like,
you couldn't hide.
Exactly. You could not hide in there. The first time I fell off the stage was with DRI. They booked us with DRI, and I had no idea why this would ever happen. It was a Sunday afternoon, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, our musical styles are very different than DRI, and I'm like, let's open with the heavy one. And it's one of those things where, like, I was trying to do the lead singer disease, and I put my fucking foot on the monitor, and I'm like, "Are you fucking ready?" Right off. I mean, like, literally face down. And Vince, this stage was probably 5.5 feet high, maybe 6 feet high.
It wasn't fucking, yeah, it was pretty tall.
Yeah. And like if John fell, all right, he's a skinny dude. You're 6'3", 450, and you're singing in a band and you fall. I saw my whole life flash before my fucking eyes then. Just in that 6 foot fall. But yeah, it was just fucking. It was a great time, man. It was a great time. I want to talk about Revel at Dusk. I'm gonna skip back and forth. But when did you guys start playing?
Well, Vince was in St. Kane for a while.
I was gonna go back to St. Kane because I was playing that today, and let me tell you, man, they're a fucking good record too. I mean, can you suck at something? Seriously, because that was a great goddamn record. I was playing the fuck song, Damn Cause. I was playing that before.
Yep, that was on the first record.
Yes,
we did 2 records. We did the second record was just basically kind of like more of like an EP, but Vince played with us for a while, and we did a bunch of live shows with Vince, and then we had Brian Quinn, who's now in Candlebox.
Who's playing right now as we speak.
10
minutes from my fucking house, but I'm talking to your dumbass instead.
So weird, right? Yeah. He texted me. He's like, "You coming down tonight?" I'm like, "No, I have rehearsal." But and then we kind of like hooked back up again, and and Vince was always like the guy for me to like that fun person to write with. And so when we started jamming with Cameron, it was kind of super no-brainer,
Now, when your writing process, do you bring a lot of your own stuff to the band and just say, "Here's what I got," or you do more of a collaborative effort?
I mean, it's really a collaborative effort, honestly. I mean, the big beefy stuff, it's like, the meat, I mean, is just us banging things off of each other and going, this is work, are you feeling this? If he's not feeling something, he'll tell me, but if he's like, yeah, that works, we just go right for it,
We jam it out.
Well, you have to jam it out. Like, for me, it's always we tried even again like a few months ago to get playing, just jamming and shit like that again. And I always felt it was always me and my guitar player. It was always us writing 99% of the stuff. So I didn't know if you were just writing your own thing and just saying, "Here, guys, I'll play it this way," or whatever. But I think that it's more of a collaborative effort. I think you get more personality in there too, instead of hearing the same kind of emotion, the same kind of vibe in your lyrics, and do you write all your own lyrics, or do the other guys help out with that too?
No, I write all the lyrics and melody. But of course, even with melody, like I'll say, I'll sing a couple of different variations, and it'll be like, can maybe do it like 2 more times here, and maybe do the low part here, and it's like you just sit here. We're at the studio now, and It's very inspirational. I love vibing off these guys. It's a really good feeling to know that you're inspired by the two people that you're writing with, because you know that you're going to be the tightest. It's going to be the most important material that you write, and at the end of the day, I don't care about record labels. I don't care about money. I don't care about fucking playing big fucking shows. I just want to do a good record. I want to do the best presentation of the writing process recorded as possible.
Do you like this new model in music where you're releasing singles instead of just putting out the album ahead of time?
Who's got time for an album? I mean, we have 40, 50 songs,
Oh, wow. That was my next question. I was going to ask you what the how the set list is going to be when you're playing around.
It's like we have so many songs, but it's like, oh, should we do this one again? Oh, what's that one again?
Yeah.
Send me that. Send me that again. It gets buried in your texts / emails, whatever. But we have a solid set list that we're working on for the September 16th show.
Yep.
And it's all punk rock.
I've been passing this video around to I have some friends who are snotty. They don't like anything. Some of them are stuck in if it was past BLS, we don't want to fucking hear it. Like that kind of shit.
All good.
Yeah.
And every person I sent this to, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I would tell you right now, 3 of them told me it sucked. I would tell you 3 of them told me it sucked. Every fucking person said that Lie to Yourself is one of the, first of all, I think, and this is just me personally, again, I don't have anything to prove to you, I think it's probably the best song I've ever heard you put on record.
Thank you, dude.
I really do. Because I have all your stuff. I have all the shit. I have child demos and fucking, Saint Keen and all the shit. I think this is the most solid fucking recording that you've put out yet.
I just, when we started playing it, it was something simple about it. Obviously, there's nothing complicated. It's not fucking brain surgery. It's just a good, solid presentation of, of riff. It's not crazy. It's just a good AC/DC kind of simplicity to it.
Yeah, there's a beauty to that simplicity, right? Like it's you're more focused on like the groove and what the people will feel when they listen to it. Like if it'll make us jump in the studio while we're writing it, like, oh, this is gonna be so cool, and it's just the energy kind of flows and it translates when you're actually playing it. So it's a great thing.
Such a difference for me with I wouldn't be a comedian if I wasn't a singer in a band. That's just how my progression went. I missed being on stage, and then a couple years later I said I got to do something by this birthday. 8 days later I tried comedy, and that was 15 years ago. So it's a fun thing because you can express yourself.
Yeah.
When you're on stage with like 3 or 4 of your buddies and everything is just firing on all cylinders, there's no fucking better feeling in the world. There really isn't. Like we were trying to get things back together. One of the lines of one of my songs was 23 and feel twice my age. And we're jamming it, and I sing it, and I just go, stop. And I stopped it right there. I go, I'm fucking twice that age, dude. I can't do a song that's 23 years old at this point. So even that process of me and Jay, my guitar player, writing a new song, it was like, I hadn't done it in forever. I mean, I write my own stuff. I write tons of stuff, but like to actually get it with your dude and that birth of that piece of art, even if it's just for yourselves, there's no better feeling, man.
Yeah, when we're riffing, and there's always a riff here and there, and something pops up, and we're going, and he'll do like an alternate line that's so good that he's got a duck, because I'll fucking swing at him. I'm excited. I'll fucking straight up fucking high kick him, You know, fucking, I'll try to fucking punch him in the face because I'm so excited. But you know, the thing about writing is that if you're just fucking bored and you're just like, if you feel like you're always climbing, you know, it's put it down for a little bit, you know. But for some reason, lucky for us, you know, it's something that I lose sleep over because I'm always thinking about it, and I can't wait for, you know, rehearsal nights because we're always coming up with something to try, and that's what compiles these songs that we're, you know, hopefully this record can get done before the end of this year, you know, the cycle, you know.
Any covers?
Yeah. So we're struggling for the right cover song.
What are your choices? I have one that I always wanted to do. It's never been done. Heavy.
Don't tell me.
I want to give it to you.
I'm like, let me know.
I want to give it to you. I offered it to Rob Caggiano from Volbeat. He goes, "That's a great idea," and they never did it. So fuck them. And now he's gone from there. So now I want to give it to you. So what are you hemming and hawing about for a cover?
I plead the fifth on this, man, because it's driving me mad. It's driving me crazy.
Listen, I majored in psychology at St. John's University, so I can help you with this if it's driving you crazy.
So
I'm pushing for Loggins and Messina, but they won't go for it.
But something different. Okay.
yeah, I can't disclose because it's driving me so crazy. Because you don't want to do like the obvious stuff, like, you know, we can cover Alice in Chains stuff, you know, we can cover.
Can't do that.
You know, but
you can't do that. You got to pick something so far out of right field.
Yes, it's got to be like a something a little uncomfortable, you know.
Would you like my cover? Want Revel at Dusk to cover Pressure by Billy Joel. Now picture it of going if you fucking play that on September 16th in Hazlet, New Jersey, I'm taking credit for it. I'm telling you right now, because I'm going to be at the goddamn show.
Are you going to come down?
I'm 10 minutes from Hazlet.
That's so cool. I love that.
And you know why? Because there's a barbecue place across the street from it, and I'm still fat. So
thank God. Because, well, I'll be fat with you because I can't ever get rid of food. Food is my jam, dude. So we'll get there early. Mm-hmm. We'll go to show me where the place is.
Or you just come here and I just grill and smoke everything for everybody.
You could do that too, but I want to try this place's, you know, I want to see the authenticity.
Any place that has a bacon menu.
And we got to go there.
You can't fuck with it. You can't fuck with it.
I'll text you for load in, and then we'll go over there.
That sounds like a plan, but I'm mildly annoyed at you that you won't spill your cover, but it's okay. I talked about drunk driving from the fucking passenger seat, but no, Precious Kosco can't tell me he wants to fucking cover Queens of the Stone Age. Anyway. So how many songs are you planning on recording for the record?
So we have Fall that we released. That was our first single.
Great song.
From thank you from you know, Bob Merlette, the great Bob Merlette produced that out in LA, and he also did Lie to Yourself, and so there's two there, and then we're gonna go back in and do 5 or 6 more
plus a cover.
Yeah.
Fucking hate both of you right now. Won't tell me.
Can't do it, man.
You're planning on a tour, like an actual full-blown tour.
So we are talking here and there, and we're kind of like, so we all have families.
Well, that was the point I was getting at. I mean, you got 2 beautiful boys. How hard is it going to be to go away for 3 months and go?
So it's a weird balance. So it's like, you know, we pass up this, and then we pass up that, and then we go, you know what's going to work for us is this. And so we're going to wait for a little bit, because it doesn't, you know, it's like, I feel like the thing that matters to me the most, again, and I'll say it again, I can't stress this enough, is the quality over quantity. So it's the quality of the recording of these songs to a standard of you know, I think everything has to give you either goosebumps or make you feel something. And if those, because that's the legacy, right?
Right.
When we die, it's fucking over. You know, you have to leave a legacy of the best that you could fucking do.
Spot on, dude. Spot on.
From your,
I recorded a CD very, very, very early on, and I never released it. And then, like 6 years later, I recorded another special, and I just tanked it. I didn't release it. So now I'm 15 years in, and I'm saying to myself, "What's my legacy?" And I'm so glad you said that word. What is my legacy in comedy? So, like now, I have the 2 hours written. I have the clean and the dirty, and then when I tape it, I know it's going to be right. That way, if I'm done, I never touch a microphone again. I have that one piece of art that's in history that you can't take away from me.
So I knew you were going to get into, you know, this podcast, you know, situation, because you've always had this big, bright personality. You've always presented yourself with an honorable, you know, enlightenment, and it's so people gravitate towards you. They always have, and they always will. I don't think you'll ever lose that.
I hope not.
You know, I appreciate you calling me and doing this. You know, B, we go back for very many years to a great plateau.
Mm-hmm.
You can't ever forget that.
You can't catch lightning in a bottle.
It was the best, dude. It was the best time.
It was a great time. It was an absolute great time. But think about it now. Think about your life 25 years ago, and think about it now, and you would never, ever, ever trade your life now for that.
No. I enjoy my life.
Great. That's why I keep saying how fucking amazing it is to be our age. Now, granted, when you wake up and something different hurts every fucking day.
Like right, get up at all.
Like right now, you know, ask him like 3 or 4 questions. So I'm going to go take a piss and get myself a fresh. Let's just do a Zigmeister commercial. This is easy peasy from Zigmeister.
Zigmeister, what the fuck is that? Is that coming with a tampon?
If you twist this up, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Real men drink fucking whiskey, but anyway.
I am doing some toasted lager from Blue Point.
Vince, I don't give a fuck about Blue Point. What's the cover song?
You know what, to be honest with you, it's like, it's one of those things, right, where you're like throwing stuff out there, see what sticks. And we're like, what about this song? I don't know. And there have been songs that we've thrown up there that we were excited about in the beginning, and then, you know, like 2 days later, we're like, no, we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, we've had a bunch. I actually, there's a video somewhere of me actually singing "Break Stuff" by Limp Bizkit at a hometown fair with a backwards hat on in 1998. I mean, you can't get more fucking new metal douchery than that. You know what I mean?
Hey, but that was what everybody was into back then too.
Oh, sure. So listen, growing up in the Philippines, though, what kind of now was the rock music that we had here like on a delay over there, or were you guys getting the same kind of stuff that we were at the same time?
Yeah. So most of the stuff that we got there growing up, right, like was top 40 stuff.
Okay.
Like, which is, I think I'd like to kind of mention that my influences are so weird because of the stuff that we got there. You know, Duran Duran, Spandau Ballet, even, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, the local rock scene was like, it's more of the 70s. Because like the 80s hit and everything, everybody tried to play like new wave stuff, and, you know, China Crisis and Gene Loves Jezebel.
Wow, I haven't heard that in forever.
Yeah, so, you know, stuff like that. And then it kind of had a renaissance in the late 80s and early 90s where everybody was playing like rock and roll again. There's this club over there called Club Dread, and it's exactly what you think. It's like the Judge Dredd comic book. That was their mascot. That was their, you know, this divo place, like egg crates, kind of like, it's pretty much kind of like the CBGBs back there. in the Philippines. We got the chance to play there, a few times. Everybody went through there. But yeah, there was this boom back in the early 90s. So that was great. And I got to cut my teeth over there. And speaking of, I'm going to give a shout out to a few of those bands. There's this band called, we're talking about like desert island music. There is a band called Razorback. Amazing band. The original lineup, they had two guitar players, Tirso and David. There's a song called Tenderfoot, and the guitar solo outro to that song is one of my favorite outros the whole time. It's not shredding, but it's like, it's one of those things where you like close your eyes and like, that is an amazing solo. So Razorback. There's a band called Wolfgang. I had a band called Torch, and we played, you're not gonna believe this, John, but we did covers of Deftones and Korn up there in San
I
Diego.
actually do believe that.
I
don't not believe that.
Skinny 19-year-old that long ass hair.
Well, what's fucked up, Vince, is like if you don't say you're Filipino, right? And if I take my glasses off, I'm blind as a bat. You could be fucking Mexican, you could be Filipino, you could be Puerto Rican. I can't fucking tell. You have no accent at all, so I have no idea where you're gonna lean for. You know what I mean?
I can turn the accent on if you want.
Like you can't tell if it's watch ticking or if he's got a fucking bomb strapped to him.
I've got Native American too.
I can see that. Yeah, I could definitely. It's very strange. You can't tell if you go to work on a car or if you go to fucking BIT support. I think you're the only one who's gonna get ripped on to you. Like that? No, take it from your guitar player too.
Call center.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Yeah, man. I owe. I gotta tell you, when if I ever get the chance to meet Sully again, I want to thank him. Because after a show at CBGB's, I think it was like in 98 or 99, I said, "Yeah, can I grab a quick picture with you?" "Yeah, man, no problem." Best picture I ever took in my life.
Really?
With him. And the problem is my ex-girlfriend was in the picture with me.
Oh.
So this is again before Photoshop and everything. So what I would do is I took the picture and I folded her out of it. And that was the picture that when you were in AOL chat rooms back in the 90s and the early 2000s, and they'd ask you for your ASL, and I'd say, "Yeah, no problem. Oh, where's my pic?" And I would send that picture off. Be like, "Oh my God, do you know Sully from Godsmack?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, you want me to call him right now?" I mean, I really don't want to. He's on tour right now, but yeah, let me go way back. I got more fucking ass off that one picture than ever writing a song in my entire life.
That's awesome.
I'll send you the pitch. I look fucking good in that picture, I will tell you. But all right, so we got the show coming up on September 16th in Hazlitt. That's at the what's the name of the studio that you're performing at?
It's Bulletproof Studios. It's
Okay.
Tim McMurtry, MOD.
Yep.
Angry Corpses. Tim and I go way back, and we've become we kind of reconnected again over the last like couple of years, and we're not a horrorcore band, but we get fucking rowdy enough. But we did a couple of shows. We did a show with him, and over at the Debonair Music Hall in Teaneck, and we just have so much respect for each other. He's like, "Come down and do the show in Hazlitt, pick the bands," and we picked the bands, and I don't want a headline. We just got do the thing where we just want to play the show.
Yeah.
Drink some beers, drink some whiskey. And by the way, I drink a lot of bourbon, so I'm a bourbon guy.
I got about 17 bottles of bourbon over here, by the way. I'm a bourbon connoisseur.
Okay, so
right in front of me, in case you think I'm lying.
What do we got?
My serving tray.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
Number 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a bourbon aficionado. So
bourbons and cigars, right?
Not cigars. Might as well be a big black dick at the same time. You know what I mean? Fucking gross. Disgusting.
Well, we suck a lot of black dicks then because
Adam, I want you to screen. I want you to sound grab that.
you want to grab that one? Yeah. We
I'll be on Blabbermouth tomorrow, huh?
on Blabbermouth. We smoke a lot of cigars and drink a lot of bourbon.
It's not a bad thing, man. It is not a bad thing.
You know, it's just what we like to do, man. It's, you know,
there's worse things in the world that you can do, dude. There are worse things in the world. What so on another note, are you going to any shows this summer? This is a great fucking summer of concerts.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big concert goer.
Really?
Not a big concert goer.
That's kind of shitty.
I like
You'd rather be on stage.
I like to be yeah. I mean, I don't like being in big crowds.
Yeah, I get that. I get that a lot. Yeah.
It's just something. I take my kid to shows. So like I took Ryder when my son when he was 5.5, I took him to go see Ozzy at PNC.
Nice.
And we took him backstage. And man, he was like crying. He's like, I want mama. But he
oh, really?
Yeah, it was fucking wild because it was Stone Sour. And I know Johnny Chow for a long time, the bass player for Stone Sour, and you know, he took us backstage. My kid was just like freaking out. It was just like wild, you know.
Yeah, it's gotta be great though. A great feeling as a dad to be able to use those connections just to show, like at 5 or 6, like he's gonna remember that.
Well, he's a big rocker dude. He loves. You know, we had to wake him up for Crazy Train. He was sleeping. We were like,
Amazing.
Ryder, he's playing Crazy Train. Ah, you know.
Great.
Talented kid, by the way.
Yeah, he's talented. He plays piano. And
taking after your footsteps.
He's better than I am.
Really?
He's better than I am.
Wow, that's awesome. This was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad you were able to come on. I want you guys to come back on after the album is put out. Please, I mean, we have a really big fan base. So Lie to Yourself is going to be dropping on June 30th. So today's the 28th. This will be out next week, probably. I think we released everything. This will probably be out next week. Download this. I want you to download this song. It's not gonna disappoint you. It is not gonna disappoint. When is the next song dropping? That's my last question.
After this?
Yeah.
We're gonna do our best to have it in maybe by fall. So
it's fucking June, John.
I know. But we're talking to a guy that has again, you know, and it's whatever. I don't care. There's no label. You know,
I get it.
We're doing the best we can with the material and the resources that we have. You know, and you know, it's just like we can't stop. You know, it's just I don't give a fuck about anything else, as long as it makes us feel good. You know, and it does something for us, which is why we wanted to come on, you know, to your show, because we've had this history, and I love you, man. You know, we had such a really unbelievably great history together, and
great show.
I'm super proud of you, and I'm super stoked for you, and I can't believe we haven't seen each other in so long.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
A minute. I mean, my God, it's crazy, dude. But down in Hazlitt, you know, we're gonna get together. We're gonna have some barbecue.
I'm down with that. And John, if you don't want to go, Vince, I'll send you my number. Because quite frankly, I've been getting along better with you because you told me the cover song while John was taking a piss. Pick, by the way.
That's between him and I.
I can hear my piss stream. I didn't. You didn't say anything.
We did hear you peeing, by
Boy
the
George.
way.
I said Boy George.
I fucking hate Chameleon, man.
Fucking horrible. It's fucking horrible, isn't it? What are your social handles? So we'll put them on the video portion of this.
Oh well, it's just at Revel at Dusk.
Okay, so yeah, everything is all the same, which is so much fucking easier.
There's a link. There's a link tree and the bio for
everything else.
For everything else.
Perfect.
So you can get everything through.
Who's your favorite new band that's out there right now? Both of you.
Yeah, you go first.
Oh God, I don't even listen to new music anymore.
I mean, if it's something that's going to be, that's being played currently, I just love Turnstile. Yeah,
Do you really?
I love it.
Some people are trying to push me into this. I couldn't get into it.
I love it.
I found Blacktop Mojo last year.
Meh.
You don't like it?
For me, I just love the I'm a punk rocker at heart too, so it's like I just love I love their fucking honesty and energy.
Very cool. All right, I never would have thought that. I thought with being married with 2 kids that you weren't gay. Anyway, so thank you for coming on our show.
I love it.
It was a pleasure to meet you. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you.
Sure.
We'll do something before that. We'll do something before that. So guys, check out Revel at Dusk. Download it anywhere you want to. We're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Download that shit there. I want this song to blow the fuck up. I really do, because I think this is I don't think Dropbox, I don't think Touche was your calling card. I think this is it. And I think Child was great. I think that St. Kane was fantastic, but I got a lot of faith, and I'm one of those people who can call shit sometimes when it comes to music, and I think this is gonna really this is gonna blow you up.
I hope so, brother.
I hope so, guys.
If not, again, it's just being honest. We just doing anything that's honest right now. So
that's all. That listen, people see right through that. Believe me, they know when you're real, dude, and they know when you're a piece of shit. You know what I mean? So speaking of pieces of shit, John, thank you.
I love you, brother.
I love you too, guys. Check out our website. Check us out on social, and we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, brother.
Later.
Thank you so much.